Hi everybody, it's Miranda here from Business Skills Studio. We're the place that ambitious entrepreneurs come to improve their businesses and to achieve amazing things. Now, today's tutorial is all about productivity and how to be more productive in your business. Now, if you're anything like me, you've got far too much to do, you've got a massive to-do list and you haven't got enough time to do it all in. Now, I am the world's worst person for getting distracted. So over the years, I've developed some strategies that have really helped me get a lot more disciplined and to get a lot more out of the short little pockets of time that I have to work in a week. Now today, I'm going to show you how to use a weekly planner. It's a technique that I've used with several of my mentees, and they always have great results using it. So typically it's people who have got too much going on in their lives. They're trying to run a business, they're trying to be a good partner, they're trying to be a good friend, they're trying to be a good family member, they're trying to run their business or get a new business off the ground. They're trying to look after their children. They're trying to volunteer. There's just too much going on. They've got the same 24 hours in the day that everyone else has got, and they're trying to cram all this stuff in. So it's these people who get the best results from using a weekly planner document. And I want to share that with you now because I think it could be helpful for you too. So I'm just going to head over to the document. So hold on a second. So here's the weekly planner. Now, as you can see, it's a very simple Excel spreadsheet. Now, most people have got Excel software on their PCs. So I'm actually using Excel for Mac. So it's virtually the same. I have virtually all the same functionality. It may just look slightly different to your version if you're in Microsoft, but some of the commands are very similar. So what you can see here is I've created a spreadsheet that's got every day of the week on it. So we've got 7 columns: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So that representing the whole week. And then running down the left hand side here, I've put in the times between which most people are trying to get stuff done in their lives. So I've assumed maybe you get up around about 7 o'clock. Maybe you get up before. I'm sure a lot of people do, but I've assumed 7 o'clock as for an average person. And I've assumed a sort of a switching off time of 10 o'clock at night. Now that might seem late, but I know that there are people who kind of will wrap up their business activity at round about that time of night if they've had to take time out during the day to maybe deal with children, pick them up from school, feed them, put them to bed and that kind of thing. So I do know a lot of people are catching up in the evenings, but you can put whatever times you like down the side here. You can put whatever time you want to for starting and whatever time you like for finishing your day. Because the idea is then we have pockets of time throughout the week that we can allocate. Now the important thing here is it's that you've taken the time before the week has started to actually think, how do I want to use this week? That's what's important here. It's not just that you're creating a to-do list every day. A to-do list is something different, and I will talk to you about a to-do list in a different tutorial because they're really important too. This is more about taking an overview of your whole week so that you can block out the time when you really cannot be working on your business, and then the time that you have got, you can really allocate and prioritise what are the most important things that must go in and that must not be moved, because there are some things that kind of keep getting pushed to the bottom of the list, but they really should be at the top and prioritised. Okay. And what I find is that when people start mapping out their week, they start finding that they've got more time than they realised, or that they're getting through the important stuff in their business more than they used to. So let me show you kind of how this would work. Can you see these colours down the side here? They're the colours that we will use to block the week out. And you can allocate whatever activity you want to the colour. So I'll just give you some examples for clients that I've worked with, and you'll see a couple of examples in a minute. But let's say, for example, that wherever we use yellow on the planner, that is stuff related to childcare, maybe taking to school, picking up from school, playing with the children, feeding them, popping them to bed, that kind of thing. Let's say that this minty green is you allowing yourself a lunch break, okay? Because that's another thing that you really should do. You should schedule in at least half an hour to just switch off. You know, it would be good for me to be advocating that you work through your lunch and never take a break, because we all know that breaks are important. This sort of mauvey colour, let's for the sake of argument call this client meetings. So you could schedule in the blocks of time in the week when you will put client meetings in. Let's call red core work. This is the core work that you do in your business, the stuff that brings the money in. Let's call green exercise. Have I spelled that right? Yep. Blue could be other work. So you may have core work and then subsidiary work. Let's say this purple could be marketing. And this orangey colour could be planning for tomorrow. Oh, I've misspelled that. Let's put that right. Planning for tomorrow. Oh, I spelled that wrong as well. And finally, that bright pink. Let's what should we sort of call that one? Let's put partner time. Why not? Maybe you need to schedule in a bit more time with your partner if you've got one. So the principle here is that once you've decided what the activities are, the core activities that take place in your week every week or need to take place, you then allocate the colour. So then you can start filling these cells with those different colours to show what sort of activity will be taking place at that time. Let me show you a couple of examples. I've got a part completed one here. This is one that I started with a client who was having a lot of challenges with juggling childcare, actually. This particular client was taking the main responsibility in the family for getting the children up, taking them to school, picking them up, doing the nursery runs, and that kind of thing. And it was kind of always eating into the time they wanted to be working on their business. So we thought, well, okay, let's just be straight about this. You have to know when that childcare is going to happen. So all this yellow on here was the times in the week when this particular client couldn't work on their business. It had to be devoted to the children. So that was, once that was in, it was then easier to see how other things could slot around. So this particular client slotted in an hour of email management in the morning, a bit more email management during the day, but they were disciplined about when they did deal with their emails. They didn't just deal with email all the time on an ongoing basis. We had a little bit of time here for attending a business club, one night a week to be doing some exercise, one night a week to be spending some time with a partner, and Sunday night was the time when they actually scheduled planning time for the next week so they could get their planner in place. And then all this white space was left to be planned in once a week on the Sunday night, and this was where the fee earning work, the reds, the purples, the blues, they were all going to go in, but planned in advance. Let's look at another example. Here we go. Now this particular example is pretty much completed, and the only thing really to note here is that this particular client, we discussed leaving some space because they felt there was so much going in that they just wanted to feel they had a little bit of space to breathe sometimes during the day. So, oops, okay, sorry about that. This white space here meant that there was at least an hour and a half, and in fact on Friday 3 hours, when things that hadn't been dealt with could be slotted in. So it was time that wasn't allocated to core work, wasn't allocated to client meetings, wasn't allocated to children, but it was time when other things could be happening, like maybe social media updates, other marketing activity. So that's how that particular client wanted their weekly planner to look. And if you look here, at 10 o'clock at night, their decision was that an hour of planning would take place every night before they went to bed, so they were ready for the next day, because there's nothing like doing that to make sure you hit the ground running. So there we go. Let me just come back and see you on the full screen. I'll just get that onto full screen. So you've seen the 3 examples of planner there. There was the blank one that you could start to populate with your weekly activities. There was the partially completed one, which one client favoured because they felt they could take the core of the planner and then just adapt it week by week. And then the other one, the third one, was one that was pretty much kept the same week on week. So it's your choice really how you want to do your planner. What I'd like to do now is just show you how to fill those cells with colour, just in case you're not familiar with Excel. So hold on a second and I'll pop back to the blank planner and show you that. Let's make sure I can get the right one up here for you. Okay, here we go. So this is the blank planner. This is the one where we decided what our categories were going to be. So let's assume that you are somebody who's got children. You need to devote yourself to childcare before school and after school each day. Now that would be kind of quite straightforward really, because you could simply block out 5 days of the week. And you see this little drop down here, that's fill. You choose your colour and there's yellow gone in. Let's also assume you pick the children up at 3 o'clock and that you're looking after them until they go to bed in the evening if they're younger children. There you go. So straight away we can see that there's going to be no work activity where the yellow is. You could then think, right, okay, when do I want to complete my core work? So that's red. So maybe core work will take place every morning. Just doing a really simple example for you here. I'll show you another way actually to put colour in these cells. You can do it by going up to Format, Cells, choose the fill option and then put the colour in that you want to use. And there you go, we've got core work every morning. Let's assume too that you want to schedule a couple of afternoons a week for client meetings. So let's take client meetings here, and that's that rather strange mauvey colour. I think it was that. Let's put lunch in. That's a bit important, I may miss that. Put some lunch in. And do you see what I mean? Do you see how you can build your week up? And when you have your bones of the week in place, you just naturally become really, really productive and really, really focused on what needs to be done. So I'll just come back to full screen. So I hope that was really helpful for you. I'm going to be recording loads more time management tips and giving you lots more of my tools as the weeks go by. So I hope this one's been really helpful for you. And remember, if you want any help at all and want to chat about how to use this tool or any of the other ones, any of the other resources on businessskillstudio.com, just send me a note through the website and I'll get straight back to you. So thanks for watching and I'll see you again. Bye.